The story of Charlie McCarthy is one of the most macabre and disturbing that has been told in the United States. In 1920, a new show arrived in the south of the country, causing sensation and horror in equal parts. It was a ventriloquism show that challenged the boundaries of reality and fiction, and soon became famous for its strange and sinister protagonist, the puppet Edgar. Edgar was a replica of a boy about 8 or 9 years old, chubby in appearance and with a malicious smile. His features were so detailed and realistic that they seemed alive. His hands had nails, veins, and wrinkles. His size was larger than any other ventriloquist's puppet, and his wooden eyes reflected a mixture of sadness and evil that chilled the audience's blood. But what impressed the most was McCarthy's ability to give voice and personality to Edgar. The ventriloquist did not move a muscle on his face and made Edgar talk, sing, tell jokes, and even insult the audience with astonishing naturalness. Many believed that Edgar had a life of his own, and that McCarthy was a wizard who controlled him with some kind of spell. Fear and rejection towards McCarthy and his puppet grew over time, and many parents forbade their children from going to see the show. Some even tried to sabotage or boycott the performances, but McCarthy always managed to escape and continue his tour. Another of the mysteries surrounding McCarthy was the jealousy with which he protected his puppet. He did not let anyone approach him, not even the staff of the theaters where he performed. Only he could take it out, touch it, and store it in its box. No one else. Thus, McCarthy became a solitary man, hated and feared by many, but also admired and followed by many others. One night, after finishing his show, the theater employees went to his dressing room to tell him that he had to leave, but they got no response. They waited a while and then called the police, suspecting that something bad had happened. When the police arrived and opened the door, they found a horrifying scene. McCarthy was lying on the floor, with his neck open and blood splattering the walls. Next to him was the puppet's box, locked. The police opened the box carefully, hoping to find the puppet and some clue to the murderer. But what they saw left them breathless. The puppet was not such, but the corpse of a real child, dissected and preserved with some unknown method. His face was covered with a latex mask, which imitated Edgar's expression. His eyes were open, and they seemed to stare fixedly at the police with an accusing look. It was never known how or why McCarthy did that, nor could the child be identified or whether he was his son or a victim of his crimes. The only thing that is known is that McCarthy took his secret to the grave and that his story remains one of the most terrifying of all time.